Hi, good Wednesday, and welcome back. And what's turned out to be a pretty decent evening in the neighborhood after some rainfall. We'll talk about how much, and we'll talk about how it's just absolutely killing me to have to talk about the forecast for prom for McGoffin County this Saturday, because it's just getting worse. We've got almost a sure thing as far as showers and the likelihood of thunderstorms are concerned. Tomorrow looks to be your best bet as to having a decent day precipitation-wise, but that's not even a sure thing. But by the time Saturday rolls around, we're talking about a 90% chance of showers and thunderstorms. We've got showers and thunderstorms, a very good chance of which from tomorrow, even though tomorrow is a pretty fair day, at least part of it, but all the way through Tuesday of next week. And right now, Saturday looks to be maybe the wettest of them all. We'll update it in more detail in just a few moments. I'm hoping for a change, and it has changed. It's slowly gone the way we didn't want it to go. Nevertheless, headlines tonight will include McGoffin County Fiscal Court, if you watched last night's show, of which we certainly hope you did meet in regular session officially last evening after a 1 o'clock cancellation turned into a meeting that we covered. Not necessarily an official meeting of the fiscal court, however, a bid opening session as it was referred to. I'll bring you up to speed on what happened in last night's meeting, as well as a new time and date set for the fiscal court by the judge executive. We've got softball highlights and lowlights for you, and some scores and schedules for you as well, and a lot of other news and information. I've got more news than I'm going to be able to even get on. I sat in on a live webcast earlier today at the McGoffin County High School. I'll tell you what that's about hopefully tomorrow, definitely later on in the week. I'm also set to talk to some new state champions at our Harold Whitaker Middle School for something I've even heard of before, if you want the truth about it. But it's a great story. I'm set to be there tomorrow, and just a whole lot of news, and we'll show everything that we can work in tonight in the next half hour or what's left of it. As far as headlines, before we get to local news, there are just a few, and this one actually is a local story. While none of the counties that the complaints have originated from are in our viewing area, they're very close, and the Attorney General of Kentucky fears that it indeed will spread, and the likelihood is certainly there. Attorney General Andy Beshear sent our McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center the same notice that he has sent statewide about a scam alert warning Kentuckians of reports of suspicious calls being made to customers of utilities in the southeastern part of our state. So far, London and Harlan and Pineville have each, and they believe more will come, have reported receiving calls from someone who claims to be a representative of a utility company, an employee who is asking for a utility bill payment over the phone. And if that customer refuses to pay, they start to threaten to shut off their service, and it goes on and on and on, and it indeed is fraudulent. Never provide your personal information, he says. Contact your utility company. Customers who receive any type of a suspicious solicitor at your home or a phone call, ask about any payment options that, of course, when you do talk to your utility company, and sign up for billing notifications are just some good words of advice in general. But the governor also says that this report actually is similar to a scam alert just last summer, where high rates of utility scam calls were being reported. He said utility-related scams occur in cycles, he says, and appear most often in the hot summer months and cold winter months. If you have a scam to report, there's a toll-free number, 888-432-9257. But this most recent scam appears to be someone trying to get you out of your money, portraying themselves as a member of your utility company. And it's worked. Thousands of dollars have been taken from Kentuckians by that very scheme or scam. In neighboring West Virginia, we knew that Senate Bill, as I reported, 386 passed and was sent to the governor's desk, and now West Virginia Governor Jim Justice just earlier today signed it into law, making medical marijuana legal in the state of West Virginia. There were some stipulations and some changes to the bill before it made it out of the legislature, one being that patients can't grow their own marijuana, obviously, but nevertheless, medical marijuana coming to West Virginia. West Virginia, now the 29th state where medical marijuana is or is about to become legal. McGoffin County Fiscal Court coverage next.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Now for coverage of yesterday evening's special session of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court. In case you weren't here yesterday, the McGoffin County Fiscal Court was first set to meet in a regular session yesterday at 1. That announcement coming out, of course, 24 hours prior. Just a few hours or less after that meeting was set, another announcement came out of the judge's office saying that meeting had been canceled and a 5 o'clock special session for the same day had been set in its place. Now, that prompted yesterday, as I told you, as has happened before on last month, Magistrates Matt Wireman and Buck LeMaster to still be there at the normal meeting time, feeling that they had a duty and obligation to the residents of McGoffin County to be there at the set time and date. There was also an attorney towards the latter part of the meeting that made comments before the court in regards to his belief or his concern that the special called meeting was an attempt to skirt the law in regards to Gary Magistrate Rooster Reisner maintaining his seat. Nevertheless, that was during yesterday's bid opening session, as it was referred to, as they did take care of some business in that regard. However, yesterday at 5 o'clock, the regular session did take place, and that's where our coverage will pick up this evening, beginning with an apology from Judge Executive Charles Hardin for missing the regular meeting yesterday, saying that medical duties had called.
There's a quorum. I would like it entered into the minutes. I apologize for not being at the regular scheduled meeting. I was afraid I would have some hospital endeavors that came up. Actually, they did, and I was about to get out of it, but then I had a sick patient, emergency, and I think that should qualify under it. But as I said when I first ran, I would always put the health of someone else above county business, and I was elected on that platform. So enter that in the minutes if you don't mind.
That was followed by approval of the minutes from the previous regular meeting, a transfer of $35,000 from the general fund to the jail fund, approval of payment to those who had performed recent county audits, and a presentation by Craig Linden of the Rural and Secondary Road Program on behalf of the state, presenting the fiscal court and judge with their annual allotment from the state, over $1 million in state road aid fund, over $100,000 for county roads, and over 12 miles to be resurfaced.
This year, McGoffin County has a total of 94.116 miles of rural secondary roads within the county. Those roads on your map are highlighted in yellow. Your allotment this year is $1,237,868. Out of that allotment is the County Judge Executive Fund is $3,862. That goes to every County Judge Executive in the state of Kentucky. That's figured into their salary by an OKRS. The maintenance and traffic is $461,300, which is a cost of $4,901 to maintain these rural secondary roads. And as you know, we've been very fortunate this winter. We didn't have a very rough winter and didn't have a lot of snow and ice removal, so we didn't have to expend a lot of those funds. Also, I will inform you, if the court so chooses and adopts this program here tonight, the fiscal court will receive $145,904 to spend on your county maintained roads. That is for resurfacing only, the same as it's been in the past. Governor Bevan and his staff has chose to do that. Also, they're offering again the 80-20 structures program. It used to be called the 80-20 bridge program. They have now changed it to structures. And the reason they've done that is if you have a pipe that is in 48-inch diameter or larger, then it now qualifies for that. With that, that leaves the state a balance of $626,802 to spend on our state maintained roads. We have 4 recommendations this year. All 4 of those are resurfacing. The first one that I have on my list, and these are in no particular order, is Kentucky 867, which is Lakeville, Royalton, Gun Creek, Ivyton Road, which begins to junction Kentucky 7 at mile marker 5.710 and ends 0.166 miles east to junction of Fletcher Branch Road at mile marker 8.828, a distance of 3.118 miles, at an estimated cost of $243,930. Our next one is Kentucky 1081, which is Harper, Edna, Wanning, Wheelersburg, Elk Creek, Lickburg, Falcon Road. It begins to junction US 460 at mile marker 4.662 and ends to junction of 2019 at mile marker 7.343, a distance of 2.681 miles at an estimated cost of $241,221. Our next recommendation is Kentucky 134, which is Patton 8L Road. Begins to junction Kentucky 134 connector there with the Mountain Parkway at mile marker 4.701 and ends at the junction of US 460 at mile marker 7.996, a distance of 3.295 miles at an estimated cost of $282,708. Our fourth recommendation, fourth one on my list, is Kentucky 1081 also. I'm not going to go through that big long name again. It begins to junction Kentucky 1437 at mile marker 14.934 and ends at the junction Kentucky 40 at mile marker 18.238, a distance of a little over 3.3 miles at an estimated cost of $290,740. Again, these are the Transportation Cabinet's recommendations before the court. These are a total of 12.398 miles of resurfacing at an estimated cost of $1,058,599. And as I told you, we have a balance or revenue to spend of $626,802 on these projects.
Following Lyndon's presentation, Judge Hardin requested that they prioritize the roads in a different order, that being Route 867 and Route 1081, the first two to be prioritized. With that recommendation being taken by Lyndon back to the state, and Lyndon noted some other resurfacing that's getting ready to take place in McLaughlin County. About 15 miles worth, not part of the rural secondary road program that you just heard him describe, but he did announce that bids had just been awarded to Mountain Enterprise to resurface Route 40 from Mash Fork on 2020 all the way to the McLaughlin-Johnson County line, about 6 miles. And that Hinkle had been awarded the contract to resurface about 10 miles of US 460. That's from the Conley Farm there at the Route 30 intersection all the way to the McLaughlin and Morgan County line. And that coming up in the April letting would be resurfacing on 114 from the caution light there at the 114-460 intersection all the way to the Floyd County line. And moving on to other subjects and referring back to the 1 o'clock bid opening session, as it was referred to, which was held at what was to be the regular meeting time. Hardin motioned to award the Industrial Park Sewer Project to the lowest bidder per the earlier meeting, which was L&L Excavation of Sagersville. The court also motioned to approve Hinkle Contracting, whose lowest bid of $170,000 will repave Jellicoe Road and Gifford Road. And the court also unanimously approved a resolution supporting lighting for the walking bridge in the Ramey Park, a $28,000 project with federal funds. The court announced the McLaughlin County tire collection, and I'll go over those dates and times with you in just a few seconds. And the last item of business was a motion by Judge Hardin to change the meeting time and date. The fiscal court will now meet the fourth Thursdays of each month at 5 o'clock. And we'll have reports to follow each meeting. Been a busy day, so I don't have everything typed into your community calendar, but a couple that I need to mention real quickly. Senior Citizens Commodities Day is tomorrow, 12:30. She didn't put the time, but I think it's always 12:30. McLaughlin County Senior Citizen Center is distributing commodities tomorrow at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center. And this one piqued my interest, as it should everyone, not just someone in my profession. But a Skywarn weather spotting training is coming up, 6 to 8. This is next Thursday here in Sagersville at the courthouse in the fiscal courtroom, hosted by the McLaughlin County Emergency Management. If you enjoy watching the weather, want to help yourself, your family, and your community be weather ready, and those in the area as well, you can become a Skywarn weather spotter. The National Weather Service and their meteorologists are going to train you how to identify and report significant weather events that have an impact on the safety of our community. Winds, heavy rain, tornadoes, ice, snow. We get it all. Skywarn spotter reports provide vital ground truth, as they referred to it, to the National Weather Service, and spotters serve their local community by acting as a valuable source of information when dangerous storms approach. This class is free. It's open to everyone in the public. No registration is required. McLaughlin County Courthouse, the fiscal courtroom, next Thursday, 6 to 8. That is being forwarded over to the community calendar. Not as we speak, but in just a few seconds, and I'll be reminding you, and I hope to be there myself as well. A couple of other reminders in the calendar before we go any further. Yeah, real quickly, a couple of reminders brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. Head Start applications being taken through the 28th. That's right, they started this Monday. They'll go through next Friday, so plenty of time if your child is going to be 3 or 4 by August the 1st to get them registered for Head Start in McGoffin County. 349-3488 is the number to the Head Start office. And through Friday of this week, a couple of more days, you can register your child for kindergarten at North and South McGoffin Elementary if they're going to be 5 on or before August the 1st of this year. That's right, applications being taken as well for kindergarten at North and South McGoffin Elementary. And I referred to during coverage of yesterday's fiscal court meeting that I would talk to you about the tire collection date. They set that during the meeting and announced it, and it's coming up in May, so I've got some time to remind you, but it's going to be May the 18th, 19th, and 20th down beside Rumpke, down there on 460 across from the horse park. That's normal operating procedure, so to speak. Individuals, no tire companies, no garages, no scrap yards, and the tires have to be off the rim, and you can bring them down there and leave them for free. And that's not until May the 18th. I'll put that on the calendar and remind you about it then and give you some phone numbers to call if you have any questions or need some help. But the tire collection program coming up next month in Sagersville. And by now you've seen the many ways you can get your announcements and birthdays and anniversaries too in the program, so whenever you've got one, tell me and I'll tell everyone about it. And now for funeral service arrangements brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. A reminder of services to be held this Friday afternoon at 1 in honor of 81-year-old Maggie Mae Montgomery of Hammond Fork Road. She passed away on the 17th, survived by her brother Donna and a sister Betty Carty. Visitation will be this evening, all day tomorrow, and then up until services start Friday at 1. All from the Rock House Liberty Baptist Church. That's visitation and services from the church, while the McGoffin County Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Some highlights and lowlights, depending on which team you're behind, from last night's game, where last night the Lady Hornets couldn't get anything going against Lawrence County, who was up on them 4 runs to nothing over McGoffin County when I got there at the start of the 4th inning. But the Hornets held them scoreless in the top of the 4th. And started off their own at-bat in the 4th with a keen eye by Samantha Black for a walk to first. But she'd be the only one to make it. 3 batters and 3 outs later, Black still on first as the inning ends. And in the top of the 5th, Lawrence County's Abby Fletcher, she bats in Brittany Shapaka. She runs in from third, and then Bowen knocks one high and center, and Chelsea Fields tags up and beats the throw home. And a pitch off the dirt lets Fletcher make an easy run for the 3rd of the inning before McGoffin County and the Lady Hornets can shut down the Lady Bulldogs' 5th at-bat. It was 7-0 after 5. And a final score of 14-0 for the Lady Bulldogs. And with that win, the Lady Bulldogs of Lawrence County will advance to 9-8 on the season. They're 4-0 in their district, the 60th district, mind you. And the McGoffin County Hornets will fall just behind the even mark at 6-7. As for the Lady Bulldogs, they are hosting Shelby Valley tomorrow night at home. The Lady Hornets are in action tonight, but it's a road game. They are traveling to, no, they're not. Their game is not set until tomorrow, where they'll be on the road at South Floyd. As for other girl action here in the viewing area, real quickly, the last night, Paintsville Tigers won over Pike County Central 11-1 in 5 innings, and they are hosting Raceland tomorrow night for the Lady Tigers of Paintsville. The Lady Eagles of Johnson Central last played on Saturday, an away game and a loss that I reported to you against Pikeville in the Lindale Potter Memorial Tournament. The Lady Golden Eagles are on the road tomorrow at East Carter. And in baseball, real quickly, the boys of McGoffin County were to be hosted by Paintsville last night at PHS. In that game, I'm told, for lack of enough umpires to call, is what I was told by officials here in McGoffin County last night while at the girls' game, so they had to cancel that game. So the boys, the McGoffin County boys, that is, who last played on Wednesday of last week, will be going to Paintsville. They're going tonight instead of last night. Tip-off set for tip-off. First pitch set for 5:30, and they will be hosting Paintsville tomorrow night here at home. First pitch set for 6 o'clock. So they'll
just moving the schedule up a day for those two games. Paintsville Tigers, enough said, we've covered them. And for the boys at Johnson Central, they last played last night, hosted Sheldon Clark, a 15-1 rout over the Cardinals in just 5 innings. They mercied them, and they are at Sheldon Clark tonight. Sheldon Clark, I'm sure, hoping for a little vengeance in that one. Well, I'm hoping for some sunshine and some beautiful conditions for prom this weekend and for a lot of your forecast. And I, like you and everyone else, I'm afraid, are not going to get it.
Yes, definitely rain in our future, and in the immediate future, as you can see, scattered showers throughout much of southeastern Kentucky, and to the tune of about a 40% chance that we'll get under some of those, and there are a few of those, of course, as you can see, that just rolled out or across parts of the viewing area, and we may see a few more dot this part of eastern Kentucky before the night's over. We'll also see a low of right around, I think, 57 degrees. Of course, and that's under mostly cloudy skies. Oh, by the way, rainfall amounts, I'm showing 1.8 inches of rain for the entire month of April. Today, just under half an inch registered here at the studio. So mostly cloudy, 57 for your low, and as you saw, a chance of some scattered showers. Tomorrow, temperatures are going to peak in the forecast. They'll make a return as far as the 80s are concerned next week, but for your Thursday, like I said, that's the best bet, at least for the first part of your Thursday, of having some dry, partly sunny weather. 82, partly sunny, a 30% chance of showers. That's not until after 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow, and it's only 30%, but that chance grows to about 60, maybe even 70% a likelihood by tomorrow night, with showers and thunderstorms in the picture. Still mostly cloudy skies, and winds still out of the southwest 5 to 7, except where you see some possible thunderstorm activity. So pretty good, decent start to the day tomorrow. If your yard is like mine, tomorrow's the day to tackle it, or have someone tackle it for you, whatever works. But that's probably going to be your best bet, because by the time Friday rolls around, a front cometh, and this is what we're going to see. Temperatures take a hit down to the low 70s, right at 70, 71, with mostly cloudy skies and showers. And not just a slight chance, but a likelihood of showers and a good chance of some thunderstorms as well. 71 and 50 for highs and lows. And our dreaded weekend forecast, especially for prom here in Montgomery County on Saturday. It's going to be cold and wet. I am so afraid. As for Saturday, a chance of showers, and then showers likely, thunderstorms quite possible, and that's starting from 9 a.m. and rolling right on through your Saturday. We've got a 70% chance of showers from the morning, increasing to a 90% chance of showers by that night. 62 and 48 for your high and lows, and those temperatures might even fall a bit by the time Saturday rolls around. They'll definitely fall a degree or two by the time Sunday gets here. More clouds, showers maybe the first half of the day, but that cooler air is still in place. 61, 44. Monday we start to climb out of the hole to the tune of some sunshine and 68 degrees, and from there we might have a beautiful weekend store after a dismal, dreary weekend. I'm talking sunshine on Monday in the upper 60s, Tuesday sunny and mid-70s, upper 70s, and sunshine on Wednesday of next week. But it indeed is the weekend. It's just not going to be nice at all.
I say it often. I say it perhaps all the time, but it's just about always the case. More news than I had time for tonight. We'll get back to it tomorrow night. More exclusive news and information that you're only going to see if you see us here. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.